for tuning in to another episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update, the series where we'll let you know what's new in manufacturing, processing, packaging, coding, and so much more. We'll be dropping a new episode on a bi-weekly basis to keep you up to date with the latest news and insights that affect your business. I'm your host Alexa, and today we'll be discussing topics ranging from the unemployment rates dropping, to finding better ways to dealing with food waste, to making the switch to greener energy, and finally, revamping some outdated FDA regulations and practices. So, starting off, would you believe us if we told you that unemployment is at an all-time low right now? Hard to believe, right? Especially when you hear about these massive companies reducing their workforce through layoffs. In January of 2023, America's employers added 517,000 jobs, which is surprising considering the fact that the Federal Reserve has been slowing down growth and battling inflation with higher interest rates. As of February of 2023, it's reported that the unemployment rate has dipped to 3.4%. which happens to be the lowest rate since 1969. What industries are helping to drive down unemployment? Well, according to Paul Wiseman from Food Manufacturing, restaurants and bars have added 99,000 jobs, professional and business services have added 82,000 jobs, the government has added 74,000 jobs, the healthcare industry has added 58,000 jobs, retailers added 30,000 jobs, construction gained 25,000 jobs, and finally, saving the best for last, manufacturing added 19,000 jobs. According to Seema Shah, Chief Global Strategist at Principal Asset Management, this is a labor market on heat. Not only is the market on fire, but according to Food Manufacturing Digest, companies are still seeking more workers and are hanging tightly onto the ones they have, putting aside some high-profile layoffs at big tech companies like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and others. Most workers are enjoying an unusual level of job security, even at a time when many economists foresee a recession approaching. The unemployment rate is at an all-time low. In fact, there are so many job openings that there are now 2 job vacancies on average for every unemployed American. According to the Labor Department's monthly count of layoffs, there have been less than 1.5 million layoffs in the past 21 consecutive months, which is surprising because that figure had never dropped so low in records dating back 2 decades. How is it possible to keep unemployment down that low when Facebook cut 11,000 jobs, Amazon cut 18,000 jobs, Microsoft cut 10,000 jobs, and Google cut off 12,000 jobs? Well, some economists believe that unemployment is low because the workers that are now being laid off are finding jobs easily. So, for all of those current job seekers out there, don't get discouraged. There's hope after all. It seems that employment isn't the only thing making a comeback. Thanks to the USDA, compost projects are now receiving some much-needed funding and attention as well. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is investing more than $9.4 million in 45 cooperative agreements that support innovative, scalable waste management plans to reduce and divert food waste from landfills. These plans will be implemented from 2023 to 2025. The Compost and Food Waste Reduction Cooperative Agreements are part of the USDA's broad support for urban agriculture through its Office of Urban Agriculture and Innovative Production, also known as OUAIP. According to the chief of USDA's Natural Resource Conservative Service, Terry Cosby, these compost and food waste reduction projects play important roles in building resilient local food systems, including strong food recovery networks and food waste reduction solutions that benefit farmers and communities. Did you know that 4% of the U.S.'s greenhouse gas emissions are attributed to uneaten food? So you can understand why local strategies and tools like these are important for climate solutions. Thanks to the USDA prioritizing projects such as these, compost is becoming even more accessible to farmers and community gardeners, not to mention that these individuals are integrating other food waste strategies, which include food recovery efforts and increased collaboration with other community partners. So, have funds been distributed yet? So far, 27 states and 1 territory have received funding, and it's safe to say that these recipients have hit the ground running on their projects. The Miami-Dade County 2022 CFWR pilot project has implemented a 2-year pilot project to jumpstart a circular economy for food waste that aims to accelerate and scale for the service of 3 small locally owned composting companies. Thanks to the project, service capacity will expand by 50% over the course of a year, not to mention that it'll be possible to obtain a renewable 18-month pilot project permit, which will help to develop a commercially viable compost product that can be used by the Miami-Dade County's Park, Recreation, and Open Space Department. This will help to create a circular economy for food waste and compost that will reduce landfill, food waste, and replace chemical fertilizer. So, what are some other efforts being made through the Compost and Food Waste Reduction Cooperative Agreements? There was the creation of the Federal Advisory Committee for Urban Agriculture and Innovative Production to advise on the development of policies related to urban agriculture. The People's Garden Initiative has been reopened, which has helped teach people how to garden using sustainable practices and nurture habitat for pollinators and wildlife and green space for neighbors. $7.5 million worth of grants have been created that target areas of food access, education, business, and startup costs for new farmers, as well as zoning and urban production needs. With the push toward composting and sustainability becoming increasingly present, we're sure that sooner than later we'll be seeing some of these changes in our community as well. It seems that we're seeing nothing but green this segment, which is a coincidence because so is Emerald Packaging, as they're making the switch to solar energy. Thanks to California-based Emerald Packaging's choice to switch to solar panels, emission will now be cut by the equivalent of more than 47 million pounds of coal burned over 25 years. As a bonus, the company will also be saving $12 million in energy costs. Kevin Kelly, the Chief Executive Officer of Emerald Packaging, says that going green is a decision that he's been considering for the past 10 years. He said, "It's clear that our planet is losing the battle to stop greenhouse gas emissions. The installation of solar and other initiatives such as reducing plastic use and increasing recyclability of our packaging makes complete sense." So, what is it that pushed Kevin Kelly and his team to finally take the plunge? The first factor was the payback or return on investment dropped from 4 to 5 years to now 3 years. The second factor was that at every major conference, the message was clear. We were getting closer and closer to the point of no return. Now, with the team having finally decided, the plan was set in motion. Their 100,000 square foot facility will be going live with solar in the first half of 2023, while their 90,000 square foot facility is projected to be solar powered by mid-2023. According to Kelly's first year's power documentation, 2.5 million kilowatt hours of direct current are projected to be generated, all of which will be used immediately since Emerald doesn't quite have any battery storage just yet. Thanks to Emerald's push toward greener energy and overarching sustainability plans, the team has earned a California Green Business certification. It also earned an Ellen MacArthur Foundation signatory, since it's one of the few flexible packaging companies in the country. Within the next coming years, we're sure that we'll see even more businesses pushing towards sustainable energy. Until then, let's see what our final story of the day is. The head of the Food and Drug Administration announced an overhaul of the agency's Food Safety and Nutrition Division, vowing that a new structure will better protect consumers in the U.S. food supply. So, what's the plan? Well, according to FDA Commissioner Dr. Robert Califf, the goal is to implement a new human foods program that would oversee 80% of the foods we eat. The plan would merge two existing FDA programs, which would help remove redundancies and, as a result, oversee human food in a more effective and efficient way. The new plan aims to revamp food programs, which would include a separate center focused on nutrition, foodborne illnesses, and new expert advisory committees to weigh in on food safety, nutrition, and new food technologies. While this new structure seems foolproof, it wouldn't oversee the FDA's Veterinary Medicine Center, because much of that center's work involves animal drugs and devices, not food. Not to mention that the animal feed industry worried that it would be overlooked. If change was needed before, what is it that prompted this reevaluation now? Well, not too long ago, the FDA was facing massive scrutiny over the contamination of a Michigan factory that led to a nationwide infant formula shortage. The formula in question had traces of heavy metal. A scathing report during this crisis found that the FDA's food division was plagued by decentralized leadership, indecisiveness, and constant turmoil. Not to mention that for years the agency has been criticized for responding too slowly to outbreaks. Dr. Califf's proposal has been met with mixed reviews. While some experts believe that the proposal does a good job of identifying essential problems, others believe that the FDA will remain fragmented. But the commissioner goes on to say, just because there has been resistance in the past doesn't mean that it can't work. According to Mitzi Baum, president of the nonprofit Stop Foodborne Illness, any change is going to be messy. It's going to be disruptive. Why not make all of the changes that need to be made in order to create the most efficient and effective agency? Now we're going to be turning it over to Ken, who's been at Westpac the last week along with the Booth Boys. He'll be telling us about the Pack Place. It's a hub for packaging professionals to work and play at the show. But we'll let Ken take it from here.
Thanks, Alexa. We're here at the Anaheim Convention Center in sunny Southern California for IME's Westpac 2023, wrapping up day 3. We've had a great show so far, lots of great exhibitors, showing off a lot of great robotics and AI automation. Future of packaging looks very interesting. We were also fortunate enough to be located next to the Pack Place Theater, featuring great presentations from subject matter experts all across the industry, with one day focused exclusively on cannabis packaging. There was a presentation by the National Cannabis Industry Association founder and CEO Aaron Smith, alongside Greenbridge Legal, discussing the future of cannabis coast to coast. Interestingly enough, 5 additional states this year have legalized cannabis products within their borders. Suffice to say, the mood in the convention center is quite high on cannabis products. Lastly, there's also been a great auction or charity auction ongoing that will go out after the show. A local artist has painted a cannabis-inspired Willy Wonka mural that they are auctioning off for charity purposes. It's been a great show so far. We're looking forward to the next stop on our We're Coding Everywhere World Tour. We'll be in April at the Food Northwest Expo in Portland, Oregon. So we'll see you there. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks for telling us about the pack place, Ken, and we're looking forward to seeing your live equipment demo in a week. That's right, Ken and Charles will be going live again, but this time they'll be demoing our SNEED-Pack case erectors and case sealers. So if you're ready to see how we keep packaging simple, then set up those reminders and keep an eye out for those updates. Stay tuned for our next episode of SNEED Industry Updates, and like always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below to stay up to date with all of our great content. Follow our social media platforms to see all of our updates as we continue on our We're Coding Everywhere tour. Also, let us know what topics you'd like to see us talk about here on the show. We look forward to hearing from you all. We'll see you next time.